Hey yogis, thanks for joining me for another Flow with Amber video. Today's practice is going to be relaxing, so if that's what you're needing, you're in the right spot. Let's get started in a comfortable seat. So finding a comfortable seat, let's take a moment to stack the ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, and then bring the hands down to the knees, bringing elbows in towards the ribs so the shoulders can relax down the back. Let's take our first breath in together, and a full sigh out. Choosing to arrive in this moment, taking a deep breath in, letting everything out, bottom of the breath. And once more, just like that, inhale. Exhale fully. I'd like you to interlace the hands and bring them under the chin, and then bring the elbows wide away from one another. And we're going to start by inhaling, lifting the gaze up, using the hands to support the head. And then exhale, pressing the chin towards the chest. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release and round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, let it go. And once more, breathing in. And breathing out. Take the hands now to the back of the skull, keeping them interlaced. And then just start to open the chest, creating this nice lift through the heart, resting the head into the hands. And breathing into the low belly. And release. Good, let's inhale both arms overhead. Right arm to the left knee, taking a twist. Inhale, sit up tall. And exhale, twist deep over the left shoulder. Greeting your body today with however it's showing up. Just giving loving acceptance to these vessels that carry us through life. Another breath in. Exhale back through center. Inhale, reach overhead. And exhale, twist now over the right shoulder. Big breath in, gets you tall. Exhale, twists you deep. And back through center, exhale. Let's come on to all fours, releasing the feet behind you. Coming to the center of the mat. And then let's press the top. And then let's take the hands to the top corners of the mat. Draw the chest towards the earth, coming to rest the forehead for a puppy pose, keeping the hips lifted over the knees. We'll take 10 breaths here. Take 2 more inhales and exhales. And then walk the hands underneath the shoulders. And let's inhale, reach the right arm overhead, twisting open. Exhale, round halfway through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring the hand through the left shoulder. Inhale, lift, big twist. And this time coming to thread the needle, resting now on the right ear. Option to keep the left hand to the top corner of the mat with the arms straight and then drawing the left armpit down towards the mat. Other option would be to press the left hand into the mat with the elbow bent and using that to kind of leverage and get deeper into a twist. The goal here is to stretch the back of the right shoulder. So see what feels good in your body today. With your next inhale, come back up to all fours, tabletop position. And draw a big circle with the hips over to the right. And then 2 over to the left. Good. Right hand plants in the center of the mat. Left arm reaches tall. Exhale, draw the arm rounding halfway through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, halfway. Inhale, always expansive. And exhale is going to bring you down to thread the needle, resting now on the left shoulder. Check in that you've created enough space through the neck, taking the side of the left ear onto the earth, pulling the hips back evenly, and listening to our breath. Next inhale is going to bring you back through center. And then draw the knees wide and come to rest in a child's pose with the big toes touching. Option here to take prayer hands and bring it over the back of the neck. And taking this time in this pose of surrender to set your intention for today's practice. Sometimes I like to imagine that I write my intention on a little slip of paper and I tuck it inside of a balloon. And once that balloon is blown up, I tie it to my wrist. And that way that intention just kind of floats over me all day. It's not so distracting. I notice that it's there, but it's not drawing all of my attention. It's accompanying me throughout the day. And that little balloon just reminding you to stay focused on how you want to feel, what you want to call in. So just envision yourself writing a word or an affirmation on a slip of paper and sticking it into your balloon. Also notice what color your balloon is. Good. With our next breath in, let's release. And we're going to walk the hands up so that we can come to sit on the knees, drawing the knees together and the tops of the feet pressing into the mat. If this doesn't feel comfortable, you might prop yourself up with some blanket or a pillow underneath you. You can also come into a comfortable seat as well. Let's interlace just the thumbs together, and we're going to do these seated cat-cows. But with each inhale, we're going to extend the spine, which means we're going to reach up, look up, press the navel forward, and the chest lifts. And with each exhale, we're going to round the spine, pulling the navel to the back of the mat, tucking chin to chest, and tapping the hands to the knees. Inhale, lift up. Bring the chest with you. Exhale, round, creating flexion through the spine. Follow your breath pattern, and we'll do 4 more. Last one, make it count. And exhale, walk the hands forward. We're going to come into a plank pose. You can also do this on the knees. But from our plank, I just want you to pedal out the feet. Create a strong foundation with the fingers spread wide. Stretch out the calves. And then find a downward facing dog. And then bending through the knees, inhale, look forward, take a big step, and let your feet land as wide as the mat. Tuck the chin, grab opposite elbows, and ragdoll. Just finding some sway through the hips, relax the head. Beautiful. Take the right hand to the earth, bend through the right knee, twist the left arm up to the sky. Try to stack the shoulders in one line. You can come onto fingertips to get a little more length. And energetically reaching towards the ceiling. Exhale, switch sides, passing through center. Now right arm twists high. Take the hands to the mat, turn the knees and toes out, lower down into a yogi squat malasana. Hands can come at prayer at heart center, press the elbows into the knees. Try to get the spine really tall here. And then take left ear to the left shoulder and draw a half circle. Take it back the other way. And do that 2 more times. Good. Exhale, hands to the mat. Lift back up to a forward fold, but this time walk the toes to touch. Wrap the arms around the back of the knees, the calves, the hamstrings, and bring yourself into a nice forward fold. Release the hands to the mat. Walk the feet underneath the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften the knees and fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach arms overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, hands at heart. Inhale, reach up. Reaching now for the left wrist. Take a big stretch over to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, reaching now over to the left. Inhale, reach up and back. And exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to half lift. And exhale, step the left foot back. And we're going to come into a lizard pose. So we'll walk the right foot to the edge of the mat and hands plant. Now you might stay here up on the wrists. You might rock forward and back. Can you bring the collarbones through the shoulders? Just creating more width through the front of the chest. It's okay if this right knee and big toe need to come off the mat and turn out a little bit. And then lower that back knee, maybe drop onto the forearms. Good, let's come back up onto the wrists. Take the left hand planted underneath the shoulder. Right arm is going to reach forward, thumb up. Reach it up, keep gazing at the thumb, and then rotate the shoulder open and reach for the back of the mat. Do that again, now coming forward, so reach the thumb up, rotate it forward, and let's do that 2 more times. Inhale to reach open, and back to the front of the mat, and once more. Take the right hand down. If the foot is off the mat, you can keep it there. We're going to walk the hips towards the heel for a half splits, but it doesn't have to be in the center. You can keep this angle here if it feels right in your body. And then tuck the chin to the chest and find 7 breaths here. As we get deeper into this posture, you might feel the hips relax a little more. You might feel a little more pull through the right hamstring. So just invite in whatever is moving through your body, allowing its intelligence to take you there. And then come back up. Walk the foot to the center of the mat. Lift the back knee, step it to plank. Option to take a chaturanga here into a cobra pose and a downward facing dog. Once again, bend at the knees. We're going to step into Malasana, so take the left foot to the top corner of the mat, and then the right foot to the right edge, and lower the seat. This time we're going to bring the shoulder into the left knee, taking a heart opener here. Right arm reaches back. Option to take the bind by clasping the fingers behind the left hip. Now, if you've lost some length in the spine, come back out of it and just bring the arms wide and turn and gaze over the right shoulder. Exhale, let it go. Take a moment in the center. Breathing in and out. And this time, right shoulder into the knee. Big heart opener. Maybe binding here as well. And then lifting the crown and gazing over the left shoulder. Exhale, let it go. Hands to the mat. We're going to take our feet underneath the hips, coming into a forward fold. This time we're going to step onto the hands so that the toes are meeting the wrist creases, tops of the hands pressing into the mat, and then bending at the elbows and lowering ourselves down. Let's unwind from that, release the hands, take a half lift. Exhale, fold. We're going to step the right foot back, coming into our lizard pose, walk the left foot to the edge or off the mat, rocking forward and back, drawing the collarbones through the chest, gazing forward. Feeling that nice stretch to the front of the right hip. And then maybe lowering down onto the knee, onto the forearms, taking what your body needs today and always. It's like when our body is calling for rest and we just keep ignoring it, the body will start to scream for rest by creating sickness or dis-ease in the body. So it's important that we tune into what our body is needing and respond to its call, knowing that its intelligence has something to teach us. Let's come back onto the wrists, right hand to the mat. Check in the knee and the big toe are pointing the same direction. Reach the left arm forward. Inhale, draw that thumb up towards the sky, rotate the shoulder open, reach back. Come back forward. Let's do that twice more. Inhale up and open. And back to the front. Good, hands to the mat. Coming now into our half splits, walking the hips towards the heels, straightening through the front leg. And tucking chin to chest, stretching all the space between each vertebrae. And taking 7 breaths. Coming back to our intention as the mind might start to wander. And stepping that foot down, grounding the front foot and walking it in through center. Let's lift the back knee and step it back to plank. Maybe lowering down chaturanga into an upward facing dog, arms straight, hips and knees lifted. Crown reaching high, and exhale into a child's pose, this time with the knees touching, hands down by the heels, rest the forehead towards the earth. Let's clasp the hands behind the back. We're going to bring the very top, the crown of the head, to the mat for a rabbit pose. So first we bring the crown of the head, lift up the belly off the thighs, and then maybe curl the toes and reach now either for the heels or keep the hands reaching up. You'll feel a stretch happening through the upper back. And then coming to sit on the knees, reaching back up. In our toe stand, by your toes. Let's take a few breaths just resting the eyes, stretching out the fascia and the soles of the feet. Our feet that walk us through life each and every day, bringing us to new destinations, helping us to explore and see all the beauty that we've been gifted with here on planet Earth. Take the hands to the mat. Let's lift the knees off the earth, coming to balance now in a toe stand. So big, deep stretch through the fascia and the front of the ankles. Maybe you want to play with your balance here, maybe lifting one hand up and maybe the other, hands coming at heart center. When you come out of it, we'll press the heels into the mat, coming into a forward fold now at the back of the mat. An option to take any fold that feels good here. I'm going to wrap my peace fingers around the big toes, bend at the elbows, and release the head. Slowly stacking one vertebrae at a time, come up to stand. And roll the shoulders down the back. Mountain pose. Maybe closing down the eyes. Grounding our breath into our body and our body into the earth. Let's bring the right knee to the chest, hugging it in. And then open that knee out to the side. Maybe left arm extends to find some more balance. And then coming into a tree pose, maybe foot right above the knee or just below it. And then we'll step that foot forward, coming into a warrior one. Take a moment to inch the toes forward so you can bend through that front knee, turn the hips to the front of the mat, and reach the arms overhead. Really lengthen, reaching the crown, the fingertips up, and also pressing the feet into the earth, getting some lift. Straighten through the front leg, reach it forward and fold into your pyramid pose. Maybe wrapping the right hand around the back of the front ankle, maybe both hands playing with your balance. And then hands to the mat. Let's come into a standing splits, bend through the front knee, pop the back foot up, point the toes, and without opening the hips, just keep drawing the foot directly behind you. It might feel nice to open into a half moon, taking the left hip open now so the toes turn out to the side, and left arm might reach up or stay on a hip. Take a step back and come back into your warrior one. So square the hips back to the front of the mat. Reach the arms up. And exhale, step forward. Coming into Samasthita, hands at heart center. Let's do that now on the left side. Take the left knee up to the chest. Opened out to the side, reaching the right arm open as well. Vrksasana, tree pose. Maybe a different variation with the hands, maybe taking mudras. Awesome job, everyone. Take that left foot forward, stepping into warrior one. If you need to adjust back to the mat, go ahead and do so. Hips facing forward, tuck the tail under, reach the arms up, biceps by ears. With your next breath out, straighten through the front leg, reach forward, pyramid pose. This is a nice time to add some blocks or to play with your balance, reaching for the ankle and pressing into the big toe for a little more foundation. And finally, standing splits. Popping that back foot up, pointing through the toes, gazing at the left knee. Maybe transitioning into your half moon, left hand plants, right arm twists open, toes out to the right side of the mat. Square the hips off, step it back to warrior one, and reach up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Big step back to plank. And lower down, chaturanga. Taking a back bend. And then coming to sit now at the center of your mat, swinging the legs forward. Plant the feet, grab behind the hamstrings, and slowly lower yourself down. Once you arrive, just taking a moment to knock the knees together, taking the feet as wide as the mat. Slowing down the breath. A few windshield wipers to the right and the left. And then extending the legs out long, taking any wiggles that need to come out of the body. And finding a restful state in Shavasana. Closing down the eyes. Finding stillness.
So you let go of everything that's passing through the mind, not attaching to anything, just letting it pass. Breathing in your intention word and releasing it into the world with each exhale. Start to deepen your breath. And you can wiggle through the fingers and the toes. And draw one knee into the chest, letting it graze side to side. And then the other. And wrap your arms around both knees, giving yourself a big hug. And then coming back to your seat, either rocking forward and back or rolling onto one side so that we can find ourselves at the top of our mats. With hands at heart center, with so much gratitude for this practice, for these lessons, for this ability to restore our bodies into health. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste.